guys, and welcome to the second video of our planning series. In this video we have a lot of information and tips and tricks on planning. I'm really excited to share them with you. If you're excited too, I hope you enjoyed this video a lot. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Now it is important to cover the actual starting point of your planning, and finally the starting point is also your end goal, your desire and your purpose that you set for yourself for the next, let's say, 10 years. I have a video on how to find out what you really want in your life. I'm going to link that at the end of this video so you can click that and learn a lot more about that if you're not sure what you actually want to do with your life. Because if you're not sure what you want to do with your life, there's no point really in planning that life, because you don't know where you're heading. You might just want to watch that video first and then come back to the planning series. For all the other ones of you, it is important to know, as I said, where are your life goals, and you work your plan up from the back to where you are now. How much time do you want to take in order to achieve a certain life goal? And where do you want to be in 10 years from now? And take that as a milestone or as a deadline, and then divide the years from now to the next 10 years up into little chunks and work on those plans. Now, of course, the broader your time span is and the further your plans lie in the future, the less detailed you are going to be in planning that out, but you will have a direction already that your compass needle points you towards, and you can always look at that and see where you're right now and where you want to be, and whether your next steps are going to lead you that way. And on the way, you're going to plan things out a lot more detailed. So the next 10 years are not going to be that detailed. The next 5 years are a little bit more detailed, but still not very detailed. But the next year, 2021, is already pretty detailed, because you know what you need, what you have to do, and how much time it's probably going to take in order to achieve everything that you need to achieve within that year in order to be productive and ready for 2022. And this is how it builds up to the next 10 years. So then, as I said, 2021 is also already going to be pretty detailed, and then you divide that year up into 3 or 4 month chunks and see what tasks do I have to do within these 4 months or these 3 months, and then break it down into more detailed ones until eventually you're sitting there and you plan out your upcoming week and the days within that week. The tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you now would also work for any other given number of years that you would give yourself to materialize your life goal. Depending on the project and the life goal that you have and want to, materialize, it is up to you. I'm just sticking to a 10-year plan here, and you just go with your own. So you might want to envision your 10-year plan as a set of stairs, and each step of these stairs represents 1 year. So depending on the end goal that you have, try and set an approximate time for your bigger sub-goals. You have your very end goal, and then every other year, every 1.5 or 2 years, you set a time for the bigger sub-goal that you want to reach by then. The arrow indicates whether these goals should lie more in the middle of the year or towards the end of the year. And as I have mentioned, it does not and it cannot be super precise, but you want to know when your sub-goals should materialize to motivate yourself to get going and work consistently. You do not need to set big sub-goals every year, but every 1.5 to 2 years should be a requirement to make true progress and measure your success so far. You do not want to work haphazardly, but control your steps and adjust for more advantage and smart decisions. After 5 years, or in the middle of your journey, so when it's 7 years, it would be like after, let's say, 3.5 or 4 years. If you say 12 years, it would be after 6 years. So like in the middle of your journey, you should be able to make pretty good analysis on your progress and know what other aspects you need to take into consideration. You also might want to think about new ideas or new ways to grow your business, and then you also want to analyze how well you have been able to move forward, whether it was fast and consistently enough, or whether you have procrastinated here and there, or maybe have gotten into a few obstacles. Then are these obstacles overcome now, or is there more that you have to take into consideration, and any other aspects that you did not think of before because you didn't know, and then readjust the plan. You should also see by then whether there are any very important major skills that you are lacking and need to acquire, or whether you need special help or more help in order to get all the workload done. You cannot build Rome in one day, and you cannot build it all by yourself. You need help at one point. You have to have other people that are part of it all. And you should be able to further detail out your next big goals after these 5 years. When you're at the beginning of your journey and you look into the future of the next 10 years, you're just like shrugging your shoulders thinking, I don't know, like in very detailed ways what to do and how to do things. But when you're at halftime, you have a lot of experiences already, and then you have the ability to detail out the next few years that will lead up to your end goal. When I sit down and plan my upcoming year, I also like to purchase one of these annual planner sheets that have like an overview of the whole year. So you have each month and the days of that month, and also already like in gray, with like gray underlined the holidays, the national holidays and also international holidays. And this is how I start planning and see how much time I have for each of the tasks, and how full that month is already, or how many holidays that month has already, because on the holidays kindergarten is closed, so the children are home all day, and of course I like to spend that time with my family. So these annual planners give me a pretty good idea on how much time how many days I actually really have left to actually sit down and work. In order to plan your year successfully in every aspect, you have to be able to schedule in all the events that you can foresee already. You also have to plan in some mommy timeouts, which is super nice and super important and really productive as well, as it allows your energy to recharge and your batteries to recharge and your energy level to rise up again and your creativity to flow again. You also might want to schedule in weekend getaways with your spouse, because it's really important that your family clicks and is connected and is happy, and because that is where you come home from a hard work day, and these people are the ones that make you happy. So you really want to nourish your family in order to create a happy life for the people that you love and for yourself. So I talk about vacation right now at first because it's really important to know when to block these times during the year to really, really be with your family physically, mentally, emotionally, with all your heart and soul, and not be like, oh, I still haven't done this and I still need this to do, and my deadline is really pressing, so actually I should not be on holidays, and you always kind of sneak out through the back door to get some more work done. And this is just not helpful for you, it's not helpful for your family. That's why I'm talking about blocking those days or those weeks in the upcoming year already, so that you see pretty early in advance, okay, this is when I have my vacation, this is an absolute deadline. I make myself accountable because my spouse and my children, they really rely on me, they really want me to be there when vacation starts. Sometimes there are also events in town or things that you need to go to during the work days that have nothing to do with your work. When these days or weeks are blocked in your annual calendar, then you can look for reasonable deadlines that you want to write down, or you even have fixed deadlines. And then you have to write those deadlines in as well, and then see from that point how you're going to divide your tasks up for all the weeks and months before the deadline, in order to meet the deadline at a reasonable time and with the reasonable and very good outcome. Ask yourself what you need to do or what tasks are important to be done this year in order to lead you to the next logical step, and then check your skills. Is there anything new that you need to learn? I am sure there is. There's always something new to learn. And then find out when and where are you going to acquire those skills. Is there any online classes that you can attend? Do you have time in that month? Or is it like even a class that goes on for several months, and how are you going to schedule that in with your family, with your other work tasks that you have to do? Now that you have your overall view, you have scheduled in your vacations, your doctor's appointments or any other kind of appointments, you have blocked weekends, you have written down your sub-goals and how to go to these goals. It is actually now time to break the year down into 3-month segments or 4-month segments. Breaking you down into 3 months or 4-month segments creates a bit of a healthy and very productive pressure on you to keep going and be a lot more motivated, because you have these sub-goals that you can reach, and then you'll be like, yes, I have achieved this sub-goal and this is leading me forward a lot more, and you're always on top of the game. And this is very important in order to see where you are and do not feel lost and overwhelmed with all the work that you have to do. So within these 3 or 4 month segments, you are going to set bigger deadlines, and then also smaller deadlines for little tasks that will lead up to these bigger deadlines within these 3 months or 4 months, and that then eventually will build up to achieving your yearly goals, the annual goal. But try and make yourself accountable. The question is, how can I do that? Well, for instance, by setting a date for a launch and for making things public or telling your friends or your family. Another very cool thing that can help you to meet your deadlines is to book a vacation. Your children will thank you, your spouse will thank you as well, and it is a very cool experience, and it makes the deadline so much more pressuring, because you do not want to have one arm, one leg, and half of your brain sitting at home over your laptop working, while the other side is on the coolest vacation ever, and you know, you just want to be there fully, in full person, in body and mind and soul and heart and emotion. Now that you have written down the deadlines, it is time to schedule in the progressing activities that will lead up to the deadline. And make sure you schedule them in the way that the peak of the highest workload and the highest or most and the longest work hours, longest work days are well before the actual deadline. Last but not least, schedule in reasonable time buffers. They are life-saving. They really, really are. They can save your project and your sanity. At the end of every month, leave a few days that you do not fill with a lot of heavy tasks and very important tasks that are very urgent and take a lot of hours away, but instead allow for them to be days that you can catch up on work that you did not get done due to your children being sick or you being sick or any other unforeseeable interruptions that took some of your work hours away from your work day. Alright guys, this was a lot of information on planning your year and breaking that year up into 3-month chunks. Make sure you subscribe to the channel in order to stay up to date. I'm really looking forward to all this and telling you all about it. And yeah, enjoy your planning. Bye!